You're listening to the Chris or Jenny Show on WCOM LP Chapel Hill and Carrboro.
Chickens crowing in an old pine tree. Chickens crowing in an old pine tree. Chickens crowing in an old pine tree down in North Carolina. Waterbound and I can't get home. Waterbound and I can't get home. Waterbound and I can't get home down in North Carolina.
Hello, Chris or Jenny Nation.
Good evening, friends.
It's the Chris or Jenny Show. It's WCOM-LP, Chapel Hill, Carrboro. Chris texted about 9:30 tonight saying, Jenny, what do you got planned tonight? And I said, well, I had some whiskey.
And the main reason I texted is because if you were going to be live on the air, I wanted to listen to your show because I enjoy it, Jenny.
Likewise, I thought I was going to listen to a Chris show tonight.
Therein lies the question marks.
Yeah, so it is 70 degrees today. It's really nice.
Incredibly
it's really warm.
Yeah.
So for us, we had pizza night with neighbors outside. That's an advantage of living in Carrboro, North Carolina in December, is that you can just hang out on your porch with neighbors.
Beautiful.
And have a beer and have some pizza and relax. And it was a hard work week, as it usually is. And I was enjoying it. So, Chris, what's your story? Why are you a little buzzed?
I'll add that you and I juggled our schedules recently.
Yes.
So generally speaking, as our audience knows, Jenny does one, and then Chris does one, and then Jenny does one, and then on and on and on. But occasionally we juggle the schedules. Over the last couple of weeks, we juggled a few, and so that was what led to
the mix-up.
The mix-up tonight.
So you were gracious enough to give me the Friday Thanksgiving show, which I had last week with Jill and Brian.
Two of your good friends.
My great friends.
Yeah, that was cool.
Our biggest fans. Like I would say probably like from our
Thank
biggest
you. We
fans.
love you guys. What are their names again?
Brian and Jill.
Brian and Jill, we love you. Thank you.
Brian and Jill might not be listening because they didn't know I do not promote this show. You know,
they only listen when we promote, probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean that Hal show that we had playing there, which is an excellent commentary.
It's a good playlist.
It's a great playlist, but we have had it in there for a couple of years.
I will never feel bad about the playlist that we have in there. I think it's a great playlist. But listen to this. I just got a text from Joe Hauser, a regular listener of our show.
The Chris half.
This is supposed to be the Chris or Jenny show, not both. What the hell?
What the hell? Worlds collide.
Joe Hauser, we're blowing your mind, brother. That's what we do on this show.
I know. I got to turn your mic down. I have you way up.
I know.
I think you literally blew his mind.
I can tell that I'm blowing the circuits of that. That's much better, right?
Yeah, there we go. Chris, you had a great idea driving over.
That is rare, but go ahead.
You always have great ideas. Your great idea was like, let's play some songs from bands that we've actually had live in the studio.
I do think we should do that.
Lob one at me right now. I'm going to look it up.
Let's just go to Reese Palmer. I mean, Reese Palmer is a huge star, country musician living in Durham, North Carolina. She has played at the Grand Ole Opry stage, Jenny, 5 times. I'm a huge fan. She sat in with me and Deej, and we had a really good show with her.
Was she actually in the studio?
She didn't physically come in.
She called, yeah.
She's
because it was the pandemic. She was so nice to do these during the pandemic, too.
It was pandemic, but also, you and I have been talking about this recently, the fact that our show is not till 10 p.m. Eastern. That does cost us a couple of live guests. Like every once in a while, someone will be like, yeah, I'd love to do the show.
I'm asleep.
And then they find out it's 10 p.m. like, yeah, I'll call in.
You know, it's funny because you and I both have not small anymore, but we have elementary school kids.
Or
and
children.
So therefore our social network also is other people with young children, and people with young children just are not up at 10 o'clock at night ready for radio. No, it's just not a thing.
Right. It works for some facets of our life, but it doesn't work for others. And by the way, we didn't pick 10 p.m. 9 p.m. is actually perfect, in my opinion.
We may muscle in.
I mentioned it to Donald. They're going to see.
I don't know. I don't know. But those hipsters need to change their playlist.
Yeah, I mentioned it again to Donald. And I'm having another fundraiser for this station in March.
Oh, that's exciting. You haven't told me that.
I've been kicking it around for a while, and now I'm ready to get serious about planning it. And if that happens and if it does well, at that point, I'm going to be like, Donald, you need to hook me and Jenny up with the 9 p.m. slot.
All right. Look at you wheeling and dealing.
Generally speaking, you'd prefer 9 over 10.
Yeah. You know, like tonight, honestly, we were outside like kicking it till 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like it's kind of a fun. It doesn't matter. But back to Reese. I am so glad because I actually did not know about Reese Palmer until you had her on the show.
She was in Rolling Stone like 6 months ago.
I know. And I started listening to her podcast. I've discovered so many artists that I love from her podcast.
Color Me Country.
From Color Me Country. And also it's a whole world that I did not know exist.
You're absolutely right.
She's the best. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play Hold On to Me. We're going to play that. I'm going to go on Facebook and post it so we can play along like I usually do.
I love it.
Reese Palmer, Hold On to Me.
To hope she'll change her mind, come running back, straight back to you. You hold on to the past, won't set it free. You keep making wishes that just won't come true. Well, baby, let go of what used to be. Hold on to me. What I'll be, you'll always know where my heart stands. Don't be afraid, I'll catch a fall. You gotta trust me, just take my hand, and baby, let go of what used to be. Yeah, hold on to me. superstar. At the gay bar, you're a superstar. At the gay bar, superstar.
That was Electric Six. Gay Bar, you wanted me to play that for Joe Hauser, superfan Joe Hauser out in Washington State.
Commissioner Joe Hauser is a big fan.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, that was disrespectful.
And thank him for his service, Jenny.
Thank you for your service,
and
Commissioner
he
Hauser.
loves E6, and we love E6. And we had Dave, the guitar player for Electric Six, on this show. And it was a great episode, and that's why we wanted to play that as well.
So tell me more about them. Where are they from?
So Electric Six is from Detroit, Michigan, and
Motor City.
They've played Catch Cradle annually for years and years and years. They're one of these bands that, they tour all over the place. They work hard. They don't have a huge following in any one city, but they play everywhere. And like DJ Simons, my sidekick on the show.
Your Deej.
My Deej has seen Electric Six at Cat's Cradle probably 8 times. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. And they're just...
Why do you guys like them so much?
They just are... Joe Hauser, if you want to call in and say why you like Electric Six so much, the number is... What's the number? It says it right here.
I never do this on my show, but studio line is 919-246-9639. This is WCOM Chapel Hill, Carborough.
They're fun. They're
and Jenny show.
Entertaining. They're accessible.
Accessible.
Yeah. Joe Hauser and his wife, Sundia, for a gift for him, she donated some amount of money, and I imagine it was not a crazy amount of money, and he became a executive producer on one of their albums.
Nice.
And met with the band and went to dinner with the band. Like, they're innovative about how they raise funds to keep their career going. And Joe is an innovative guy, as is his wife, and it's just a really cool relationship that they have.
Oh my goodness!
It could be the commissioner himself.
Oh my goodness, the commissioner. Hold on, you keep riffing while
I'll keep regaling the audience. Well, let's not forget about Reese Palmer too. That was a fantastic song we heard by Reese Palmer. But this it may or may not be Joe Hauser.
Is this Commissioner Hauser?
Jenny's vetting the audience, folks. Jenny, she wants to make sure it's not some Yahoo calling in. Who do we have? WCOM, who do we have on the air?
Commissioner Joe Hauser.
Hey! Jenny, we said his name, he called in.
This is amazing. We are a powerful show.
We are a powerful show.
It's like a bat signal.
Commissioner Hauser, are you in Dead Horse, Alaska as we speak?
I am currently in Burien, Washington. I'm representing one of the many cross-continental audience members of the Chris and or Jenny show, as it's apparently called.
I should have said earlier, he wants us to change the name to the Chris and or Jenny show.
Well, it's a rare... I think this is probably only our third show, our third and show.
This is our third and show together, but here's the thing, though. We've had 2 years of experience, and now both of us are... I don't want to say good, but we kind of know what we're doing.
I know how to answer the phone now.
You can answer the phone. I've faced Joe. I faced every technical glitch known to man and woman.
I feel like who is the Steve Carell character in Anchorman? Brick. Yeah, I feel like Brick. I can't answer the phone. I love Lamp.
There is a rhythm and a cadence that you two have both together and apart that is quite indicative of success. And as a commissioner, I feel the need to commend you on that. And I could get a proclamation done as such if necessary.
Well, we are trying to grow in the Burien, Washington market, Joe, so we really appreciate that. Jenny had a question earlier, Joe, and I think I want to shoot this right to you.
Wait, I have 2 questions. Before we ask the question you're going to ask, I want to know, can we get a key to the city?
We want a key to Burien.
Is there like Jenny, a parade where we could come and be honored?
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree.
You know what, Jenny? I love that question. I actually have a running bet with a guy from 2008 about which one of the 2 of us will be the first to get a key to the city. And this whole thing about being a commissioner was just a ploy to try to get an inside track towards a key to the city. But it's a struggle. And if I don't get the key before this guy does, I owe him $100. And I don't want to pay that $100, even if it means
a lot of money.
Being on. It's a lot of money.
You don't want to pay that.
To get to the answer to your question, it's tough to get a key to the city, but I do think I could likely pull off a proclamation of some sort.
Well, if you
would you settle for a proclamation?
I would love a proclamation from the city of, how do we say it again?
Burien. Yeah. You know what their motto is?
No.
Screw Seattle. Come to Burien. Because they're like the suburb of Seattle.
Okay. I also have a brother, Joe, who is also a super fan of this show.
Yeah.
And he lives in Pullman, Washington.
Whoa!
Yeah. We have 2 brother Joes in the state of Washington.
That's a big revelation.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you didn't realize he's in Pullman.
We might not get along if he's in Pullman. He must be a fan of Washington State University, and we would be sitting on opposite sides of the stadium in the Apple Cup. And I'd have to, unfortunately, congratulate him because Washington State was victorious this year against the Washington Huskies.
Is he a fan of Washington State, Jenny?
I have no idea.
He's not a big sports dude.
Well, he might be. I know his wife is my friend, sister-in-law, does not give a shit about any of that. They lived in Seattle for a long time, and he was a professor at University of Washington and then left to go be a professor at Washington State. So I think they support all of the public education of the state of Washington equally, with great love for all.
I'm feeling pretty strongly that we need to connect these 2 Joes, like just for a coffee date, just see what happens.
Or like a Chris or Jenny show of just Brother Joe. We could just have a Brother Joe theme.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Joe Hauser's called into my show many times. Your brother's called into your show multiple times.
He had the right. He was our expert on songs about bass and drums.
I think you've got what it takes to be in politics, because that was such a diplomatic answer. When I posed the question of
Jenny
the Apple
Cook
Cup and the
politics?
intense rivalry within our evergreen state here, you expertly answered that with diplomatic skill indicative of a future politician.
I didn't start there, if you recall. I started with, I don't think anyone gives a shit. I don't think that's super political. It's kind of like our mayor being asked what Jenny's like. Jenny is the same in all situations.
Our fair mayor, Damon Sales, who we helped get nominated.
Well, yeah, I mean, we cinched the election for him for sure.
Jenny has many talents. She does have more of a political mind than I do. But I think we should move on to this next question.
Yes, so tell us about Electric Six, Joe.
And before he answers, Joe is who got me into Electric Six.
Okay.
So please, Joe, tell us why. What is it about them that make them such a special band?
I think their irreverence for the music industry, their dry humor is what initially attracted me, and then the prolific lyrics of Dick Valentine and friends. I think that their lyrics are nonsensical and many times in themselves are a satire of lyrics in general. And Jenny, by the way, I have listened to your show several times when Chris was not involved. I just wanted to point that out.
Wow.
Including when,
wow.
Yeah, you did one with my mom a couple times.
Yeah.
Or one.
That's right. I played Bon Jovi for
the Patty
her.
playlist.
That was a thing. Yeah, the Patty playlist.
Really cool. But no, I'm not a huge fan of lyrics in music. I could go for instrumentals all day, but when somebody doubles down and just puts satirical lyrics in pretty much every single one of their songs, early on they were singing mostly about fire and dancing epidemics breaking out on the town square and policemen not being happy about it and so forth.
Well, hold up. That's actually a thing, Do you guys know that was actually a thing, a dancing epidemic? There was, one of my favorite books is called Get Well Soon, and it's a history of pandemics. And it's a funny history of pandemics. Now, I know you're thinking, really? Really? Do we really need a funny book about the history of pandemics? But it is a fun book.
It's a comedy.
It's called Get Well Soon. I'll post it in Facebook. It's one of my favorite books. But she actually goes through this, oh God, I'm going to get it wrong, like the 1100s in Germany or Italy, and everybody started dancing. It was literally an epidemic, and people died.
Oh,
it's a thing. It's a real thing. So I know you think that they have these nonsensical lyrics, but it could be that your friend Dick Valentine, by the way, I want to get back to that too. It could be that they are deep historians of epidemiology.
I acknowledge that as a possibility, but I'd say it's rather unlikely. They do have one song entitled Dance Epidemic.
That's a thing.
Jenny might be onto something, Joe. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Can we pause here and talk about what an awesome, awesome band leader named Dick Valentine is?
Dick Valentine.
It's a great name. It's got several elements, 2 elements to it, really. One of which could be construed in a sexual way, and
perhaps
the other
phallic.
one,
perhaps.
I don't know. I didn't know if I could say phallic on the radio, guys. But
it's after
yes,
10.
I think that's what he's going for. And then, of course, with the Valentine element, it kind of softens it up a bit, right? Kind of shows that, hey, business in the front, party in the rear type of thing.
Like
I don't know. It's kind of like a mullet equivalent of a name.
So earlier tonight, neighbors on my front porch hanging out, one of my neighbors really, really wants to change his name to Max Power. He was into this, and so I was, of course, Googling that. So if you can change your name to any name and you can have an awesome band leader name, what's your name going to be?
I already know what Joe's going to say, but please, Joe, go right ahead.
You know what? I was going to steal your brother's favorite stage name, which is Styx Dynamite.
But what about your persona?
Well, I wanted to be Thunderfingers.
Yes.
But that was already taken by the Who's bassist.
What about Captain Sensible?
Captain Sensible is a wonderful stage name.
Joe is in a band, by the way, and has multiple.
So he already has this.
Yeah.
The only one that I have is way, way back, like 20 years ago. There was an internet quiz. What is your Wu-Tang Clan name?
Yeah.
And mine was Crafty Bernardo.
Nice.
Which I've always kind of liked. I think Crafty Bernardo would work out well for me.
I love Instagram.
Yeah, that's my actual.
Both of you already have sort of personas outside of your driver's license names, I would say. Yeah, Joe for sure.
So do you have one? Do you have one, Chris?
Me?
Yeah.
A lot of people call me Coach.
Mm-hmm. True. Well, you are a coach.
And a lot of people call me Jams.
Oh, I didn't know
that was my nickname growing up.
I didn't know that.
And so both of those nicknames stuck throughout my life. And it's not just little 8-year-old girls that call me Coach. Like adults call me that. So I have those two personas. So I feel like, and I'm not in a band. Like I'm the one who talks about bands. I'm not in one. So I don't feel like I need more persona besides.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to see if I can still find the Wu-Tang Clan name generator.
Yes.
And we're going to see what your Wu-Tang Clan name is.
That's a great idea. Who are we playing next, by the way? Let's tee that up.
Deep Chatham.
Tanning Sober Gentleman.
I miss the sight of the southern stars, night air as sweet as wine. Oh, never again will I see my hometown of White Cross, Caroline. Oh, I found a ride in that devil's train on that long and lonesome track. I bought a one-way ticket down in Deep Chatham, Lord, I ain't never coming back. Riding with you was my own sweet boy, but it made some bad breeze. Man, Kelly wildin' in the county paying it was meaner than 15 slaves. For I found a ride in that devil's train on that long and lonesome track. I bought a one-way ticket down in Deep Chatham, Lord, I ain't never coming back. Wasn't on that plan. She was scheming out what was mine. I saw my tears so crystal clear, blood did rise and the moon did shine. For I found a ride in that devil's train on that long and lonesome track. I bought a one-way ticket down in Deep Chatham, Lord, I ain't never coming back.
to also give props to Krusty Bernardo for the alternate version of Waterbound that we heard earlier tonight.
Rhiannon Giddens. Yeah.
Rhiannon Giddens.
That's my version. That's the version I do. It's Crafty Bernardo, not Krusty. Not Krusty Bernardo. Crafty Bernardo.
I was going to say, who the hell's Krusty Bernardo?
Like Krusty the Clown. A couple announcements. Chris's Wu-Tang name is Killer Pop Phantom.
Killer Pop Phantom.
I like it.
Phil Marsusadiro is posting on the Facebook, and he has posted very handily the Wikipedia entry for the dancing plague of 1518. So anybody wants to learn more about dancing epidemics, go to our Facebook page. Phil has done that.
Thank you,
and
Phil.
Phil's band leader name is Felix Kierjan. His grandfather's first names. Felix Kierjan.
Very
so
helpful,
now we
Phil.
know. Yeah.
I want to add the this station that we're on right now, WCOM. Let me tell you, folks, I'm just going to be candid. We are broke. There's no money in the coffers.
Oh, if you could see this ficus tree.
If you could see the ficus that we're staring at right now,
sad.
Joe, I'm telling you. And not only that, but the plans are to move to a new facility in a year or two. They're trying to raise $30,000. So we're fundraising. I don't know. I'm just, I guess, begging for money. Give us money, I guess, would be the... How else do you ask people for money? No, I'm just kidding. But
we're going to do a proper fundraiser in March.
We're always raising money. And Chris, I am going to plan a fundraiser in March. Hopefully Jenny will help, as she did with my disc golf fundraiser.
Absolutely.
I'm calling it WCOM Friends and Family Fest, Jenny.
Oh.
Carborough Town Commons.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get Kidzu involved to have kids' games and activities.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have 4 live acts. I've already got Karen Kay lined up, who is a children's performer.
Amazing.
That's the one we could play tonight. Let's end the night on Karen Kay. She plays awesome children's music. The Carolina Songbirds, a couple of acts already lined up, food trucks, etc. It's going to be a fun family night with the purpose of raising money for this broke-ass station, WCOM.
We might have to sell this ficus tree.
We might. Joe, can I get any interest? To ship it to Washington would be more than what Joe would pay for it.
We could sell it for like probably $30.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. Do we know who brought the ficus tree in?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, so an anonymous DJ brought in a.
I'm going to text it to Joe right now.
We should take a picture of it. Is it 12 or 13 feet?
Joe, there's a massive ficus.
It's like a 13 feet.
By the way, this studio is like 200 square feet. I
right.
mean, yeah.
So someone put in a giant tree. This is probably 13 feet with no plans to care for it. So the DJ listserv this week has been all about the ficus tree and how to care for it. A lot of admonishment of not caring for the ficus tree. And when you come in, actually the pictures I had from last weekend, it looked like there was some lovely fall foliage in the pictures of me and my guests because the ficus tree leaves are all over the floor.
By the way, we don't own a vacuum cleaner, so you've now created 2 problems.
You need like a gecko to eat the leaves. And the roaches. The gecko could also take care of the roaches.
Get a gecko. Now, Joe, I have geckos surrounding my home, so they could be productive in this situation that we're in.
13 foot's a decent-sized ficus tree.
I just sent you a picture.
Good size.
Oh, you've never been in the studio. If you saw how small the studio was, you will see what Jenny is
Joe,
talking about.
when are you going to visit? Your Uncle Joe. You've got, when are you coming here?
Uncle Cookies.
Yeah.
Yes, my niece refers to me exclusively as Uncle Cookies, and I've been living up to my name, especially the past few months, while putting on a few LBs. I don't know. It's going to be sooner than later.
He tries.
I'm not going to fall for that trick where I commit to something on the air and then I have to do it.
Got it. Is everybody all fully vaxxed?
Oh, yeah. That's not the concern from our perspective. Joe is an environmental engineer, and he does travel to crazy locales to do environmental work. He called in one night, Jenny, from Dead Horse, Alaska, like middle of nowhere, Alaska.
I know where Dead Horse is.
He's been to crazy parts of Puerto Rico. Like he does travel a lot for work. But with that said, yes, needless to say, we'd love to have him visit
and be in the and come in the station
and come to the show. Yeah,
I didn't realize he was a Duel fan.
Yeah,
that's unusual.
That is the excitement of the evening, is the fact that you've chimed into Jenny's show.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of crossover. That's exciting.
I am your crossover man. That's what I do.
We've had very little crossover, in fact.
Yeah, we have very little fans.
We only have 7 people to slice and dice. So
yeah,
you've got fans worldwide. you've had listeners from Puerto Rico, from Dead Horse, and all parts in between of
You
this
might be right, Jenny.
continent we call North America.
I have this fantastic cousin in Anchorage, and she tends to email me after the show. Like, I don't know if she's listening to it. I know. So, Coral, if you're listening, we totally appreciate your
love you,
listenership
Coral.
as well. Yeah.
But how
Absolutely.
great for the audience to get Chris and Jenny in the studio in one night.
I know.
I think it's fantastic.
So-
And I honestly, maybe we should do it more often.
We will.
We will.
If there's a night where there's a gap in the schedule and both of us have had happy hour and then there's no plan, you can count on Chris or Jenny in the station.
We can always like Uber too.
Tells me this is certain to happen again and soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Jenny, what should we play next?
We're going to play Karen K and the Jitterbugs. I woke up in a fire truck. But why don't you tell us a little bit about Karen K and how it came to be that she was in the studio?
We're going right to Karen K. That's a great call. So Karen K is a friend and also my neighbor.
Yeah.
Karen K is a children's performer.
She moved here from Boston.
She had a huge following with her Karen K and the Jitterbug Band in Boston. She's here now, and she's a wonderful person and does great music. And I'm trying to get her to be the headliner of my event in March.
Yeah.
So she's just a great gal, and it's a fun song. And my daughter loved it. Our girls are just kind of at the peak age of, they're just kind of aging out of Karen K. She's really for like 3, 4, 5, 6.
And that is such a trippy time in music when you are an adult and you enter this world of children's music. In fact, I had a listener last week. I don't know if she's listening today. My good friend Nadine, that I went to high school with, and she's now an opera singer. She teaches singing.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's a professional opera singer. She sang at our wedding.
Oh, wow.
She is beautiful inside and out, and her voice is just amazing.
Nice.
And I remember we were both pregnant at the same time. We had, our daughters are only 1 month apart. And when we were pregnant, one of her big fears, you know, as we were walking, I just remember I happened to be visiting New York. She lives in New Jersey. We're walking around Lower Manhattan, and she's like, Jenny, what's up with children's music? And I said, yeah, what is up? She's like, I'm really scared of children's music. Because it's kind of, you know, it's a trippy world. But if I like the pairing of Electric Six and Karen K, like,
with the Reese Palmer appetizer.
It's a little, you know, waking up in a fire truck. I mean, it happens to us all, but not usually when you have children. You're way past that waking up at a fire truck kind of stage in your life.
I will add, Karen K has been in the studio twice and was a phenomenal guest both times. So she really is a good gal, and I'm
Great
happy to play
neighbor.
her song. Yeah. Joe, if there's anything else on your mind, Commish?
I'm just going to go get started on that proclamation.
Excellent.
I'll be right on top of that. Hopefully we'll have it here soon.
I'm on the air next Friday. I'd love to hear back on that.
You got a deal.
I'll have the principal of our McDougal Elementary School, Aisha Howard, will be my guest.
Principal Howard, she's awesome.
So that'll be a good time for Joe to maybe call in with a proclamation. So, Joe, thank you, buddy. It's great to hear your voice.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Bye, Joe. Karen K, Jitterbugs. This has been WCOM Chapel Hill, Carborough, the Chris and Jenny Show. Thank you so much for listening tonight.
In a fire truck, I had a helmet on, a hose was in my hand, and I had boots upon my feet, and I thought this could be neat, so I sang na 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 na. I woke up in a fire truck and turned the siren on just because I could, and the siren went woo, 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 and I sang na 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 na. I woke up in a fire truck, thought I smelled smoke with my new bionic nose, and my nose went, and the siren went woo, 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 and I sang na 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 na. I woke up in a fire truck, there was a dog sitting next to me, so I named him Sparky, and my dog went woof, 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 and my nose went, and the siren went woo, 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 and I sang na 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 na. I woke up in a fire truck and saw a cat up in a tree. And the kitty went meow, meow, meow. And my dog went woof, woof, woof. And my nose went. And the siren went woo, woo, woo. And I sang na, 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 na. I woke up in a fire truck and got the ladder down so I could save the cat. And the ladder went up, up, up. And the kitty went meow, meow, meow. And my dog went woof, woof, woof. And my nose went. And the siren went woo, woo, woo. And I sang na, 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 na. I woke up in a fire truck and they threw a parade in my honor because I saved the cat. And the crowd went wild. And the trumpets went, and the ladder went up, up, up. And the kitty went meow, meow, meow. And my dog went woof, woof, woof. And my nose went, and the siren went woo, woo, woo. And I sang na, 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 na. And I sang na, 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 na.
Karen Kay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I kind of said that that was our last song, but we actually have a little bit more time.
We'll wedge one more for the audience.
You had a big thing happen this week.
Oh Lord, what happened?
Unbelievably big thing. And I know we haven't talked about it.
What is it?
You interviewed a pogue.
We did. That is true. But I don't know. Big to you and me, big to me. But I don't know if it's going to be big to the audience. But
I think we play the pogues in like every freaking show.
We do play a lot of pogues. So
I think people are going to be excited. Even if you personally are not a pogues fan, I don't see how Chris or Jenny Nation could not be extraordinarily excited for Chris interviewing a pogue.
Thank you for bringing that up, Jenny. I'm always looking for different guests to have on the show, and I'm not afraid to ask anybody. I'll ask anyone who I come across, no matter how big their stature.
You asked Ani. That was a bummer. I thought we'd get Ani DeFranco.
Ani DeFranco. Tony Hawk told me no.
Yeah.
Natalie Merchant told me no. But
we'll work on her.
I'll reach out to folks, and so if you love the Pogues, which again were the Irish punk band who kind of peaked in the 80s, but they played till 2014. So it's not like they were like they continued performing till 2014. Yeah. And they're all still alive and they're not that old. And I just reached out to the banjo player, Jem Finer, and he was like, yeah, I'll do your show. Because he's in London, we couldn't exactly have him call in, but we recorded it ahead of time. We do this occasionally. We recorded the show ahead of time. Deej and I did. So I'm going to edit it. I'm going to cut in some music, some of his music, because he has new stuff and Pogue stuff, and then we're going to play it as a live broadcast on Christmas Eve.
So exciting.
Which for Pogues fans, Christmas Eve is a big day.
I know.
Because of Fairy Tale in New York. And
so you've got a lot coming up. You've got the fundraiser in March. We're going to save the ficus tree by raising funds. Principal Howard.
Yeah.
And Pogue Night. Christmas Eve, night. It's going to be amazing.
Jenny, I've got more. I'll keep going while we're on the topic. I've got our current and soon-to-be former mayor of Carborough, Lydia Lavelle. She's coming in January.
Best.
Yeah, the predecessor to Damon. So Lydia Lavelle is coming in. I guess that's it. That's all. But we have some good guests coming up.
Yeah,
so I'm pumped about it.
It's exciting. So one of my favorite guests of yours.
Plaza's going crazy, by the way, folks. This is why you come in live. People aren't here.
Yeah,
some event just ended. I guess at Cat's Cradle, and folks are going nuts.
They are
outside on the plaza.
Hooping and it's I think you remember that one night that I was telling you, like, men kept stopping in front. And for the audience that doesn't know, I am a woman of a certain age, bespectacled, usually wearing a sweatshirt when I'm in here. Men were stopping in front of the window and stripping and yelling at me and sticking out their tongue a few weeks ago. It was a very unusual night, and there were a lot of fights breaking out, some car crashes, and it was a performer that had billed himself as Cocaine Country.
Wow.
So Cocaine Country night was an interesting night. Like,
wait, was he just trying to get on the air, you think? I mean, or just...
I didn't know if it was a mating ritual.
It was a performance piece.
If they wanted to be on the air. It was kind of like, since I just talked about Anchorman, do you remember the scene in Anchorman where Veronica Corningstone goes on the air and Ron Burgundy's friends are really upset that she's on the air. So one of them, Mike Fantana, takes off all of his clothes and does the dance in front of her. It was like that. It was like that dance.
Oh,
if you're an Anchorman fan.
Well, the weirdest thing that
But tonight, I don't know what's going on tonight.
Something just let out. It's got to be.
Yeah, they're
Some
happy. They're
concert just let
happy.
out.
They're
Everyone's
pumped.
happy.
This guy just raised his hand in a fist to us.
Fist bumps left and right.
Yeah.
The most interesting I've seen in this plaza, right in front. And by the way, we're right in the heart of downtown Carborough. There's a guy that rides around in a bike that's like selling weed products. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this guy? Mm-hmm. It's like a decked out bicycle. That's the most interesting thing. And he drives around town and people buy his products. And so I've seen that a few times. And then one night a drag show let out. That was interesting.
Yeah. It's never a boring night. Now, what's funny is that sometimes they're coming from Cat's Cradle, but these guys look like they are.
Yeah, they came from the other direction. Yeah. Lord only knows.
So we only got a couple minutes left.
All right. Who are we going to go out on, Jenny?
One of my favorite shows was your youngest, newest member of Old Crow Medicine Show.
Oh, Mason Vi. We had Mason Vi on the show.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
He was so excited.
Yeah, it was weird because it was like 5 minutes before he was going to be as famous as he is right now. Like I feel like we caught him at the perfect time. And he's 5
minutes before.
Yeah, he's a real sweet guy. I think if we wanted him to be on now, he would. But I'm just saying, we captured the
energy
right before I'm getting ready to be a star energy, and it was awesome.
Yeah. No, he seemed like a sweet guy. He was great. So we're going to play I Hear Them All.
I love it. Jenny, thank you for doing this with me tonight.
Thank you, Chris. This is awesome. Our mix-up, look, we took lemons, the lemons being, we kind of forgot about the show.
And we made lemonade.
We made lemonade
and vodka. That's a good beverage.
Lemonade and whiskey. Here we go. We're going to play I Hear Them All, Old Crow Medicine Show.
Good night,
Thank you for listening to the Chris or Jenny Show.
In the deserts where they're wandering, hear them crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. Hear destructive power prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sounds of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crimes and acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipator, and the loneliest who gather in their stalls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. So while you sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power, I can hear the flowers are growing in the rubble of the towers. I hear leaders quit their lying, I hear babies quit their crying, I hear soldiers quit their dying, one and all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. Tender words from Zion, I hear Noah's waterfall. Hear the gentle Lamb of Judah sleeping at the feet of Buddha, and the prophets from Elijah to the old Paiute Mavaka take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. hear them all